Have you ever noticed how money seems to evaporate? One day your paycheck arrives, and for a brief moment, you feel secure. Your account balance looks healthy. You think, okay, this month might be different. Then life begins collecting its share. Rent, groceries, fuel, utility bills, a subscription you forgot to cancel, an unexpected expense that appears at exactly the wrong time. And before long, your account is back to where it started. If you've ever delayed buying something because you weren't sure whether your card would go through, if you've ever checked your banking app 3 times in one day, if you've ever declined an invitation simply because you couldn't afford one more expense, then you know that being broke is about more than a lack of money. It's a lack of breathing room. And that lack of breathing room affects everything. It changes how you think, how you sleep, how you make decisions, how much risk you're willing to take. When you're financially stretched, even small problems feel enormous. A flat tire becomes a crisis. A medical bill becomes a disaster. A broken phone becomes a setback that follows you for months. Most people respond to this stress by searching for financial advice. And they usually hear the same suggestions. Track every expense. Use a detailed budget. Stop buying coffee. Save 20% of your income. The advice sounds logical. But for someone living paycheck to paycheck, it often feels impossible. Because when you're barely covering necessities, percentages don't inspire action. They create guilt. So today, I want to share a different approach. A habit so simple that almost anyone can start immediately. A habit that doesn't require a raise, a perfect budget, or extraordinary discipline. All it requires is $10. And while that may sound insignificant, the true power of this habit has very little to do with the amount itself. Its real power lies in what it teaches your brain. Most people operate with a deeply ingrained money pattern. Money arrives. Money disappears. Balance returns to zero. This cycle repeats over and over until it feels normal. Income becomes something that passes through your hands rather than something you control. The problem is not laziness. The problem is conditioning. Your brain has learned that every dollar entering your account is immediately available for spending. So the moment money appears, it is mentally assigned elsewhere. The $10 habit interrupts that automatic process. Instead of spending first, you save first. Even if the amount is small, the sequence changes. Money arrives. $10 is moved aside. Then spending begins. That tiny interruption sends an important message. I keep a portion of what I earn. And once your brain accepts that idea, everything starts to change. People often underestimate the psychological importance of starting small. Think about exercise. Someone who has never worked out consistently is far more likely to succeed with 5 minutes a day than with an intense 2-hour program. Not because 5 minutes transforms their body overnight, but because it transforms their identity. They begin seeing themselves as someone who exercises. Money works the same way. The goal is not to become wealthy from $10 deposits. The goal is to become the type of person who saves automatically. And identity is more powerful than motivation. Motivation fades. Identity endures. Imagine placing a clear jar on your desk. On day 1, it's empty. You drop in 1 marble. The next day, another. Then another. At first, it seems almost pointless. But eventually, the marbles become impossible to ignore. The jar begins to represent proof. Proof that progress is happening. Proof that consistency matters. Proof that you are capable of following through. Your savings account works the same way. Each deposit is a visible reminder that your financial life is moving in a new direction. How to start the $10 habit. The process is remarkably simple. Step 1. Open a separate savings account. Create an account used exclusively for this habit. Do not mix it with your regular spending account. This separation makes your progress easy to see. Step 2. Give the account a meaningful name. Names create emotional connection. Examples include financial freedom, emergency buffer, peace of mind, future me. Every time you see the name, you are reminded of the purpose behind the habit. Step 3. Choose your trigger. Decide exactly when the transfer happens. Examples: every paycheck, every freelance payment, every time you receive money from any source. The rule should be simple and predictable. Step 4. Transfer the money manually. At least in the beginning, avoid automation. The act of moving the money yourself reinforces the behavior and strengthens the habit loop. Step 5. Watch the number grow. Track your progress periodically. Even small increases create momentum. What happens after a few months? The first noticeable change is not the balance. It's your confidence. You stop feeling completely exposed to life's surprises. When an unexpected expense appears, you no longer assume debt is your only option. Even a few $100s can dramatically reduce financial stress. And once your brain realizes that setting money aside does not cause disaster, your saving capacity naturally expands. $10 becomes 20. 20 becomes 50. The amount grows because the habit already exists. The real purpose of savings. Savings are often misunderstood. People think of savings as money they are not allowed to touch. But that is not the point. Savings are there to absorb shocks. They turn emergencies into inconveniences. Without savings, every problem becomes a financial emergency. With savings, problems become manageable. That difference creates one of the most valuable assets in personal finance. Calm. The 4 reasons this habit works. 1. Simplicity. There are no formulas, percentages, or complex systems. The rule is straightforward. 2. Visible progress. Watching your balance increase creates motivation. 3. Flexibility. The money remains accessible if you need it. 4. Identity shift. You begin seeing yourself as someone who saves consistently. And once that identity takes hold, better financial decisions become easier. The $10 habit is only the beginning. Think of it as the first domino. Once it falls, others follow. Establish the habit. Increase the amount when possible. Build a starter emergency fund. Expand to several months of expenses. Begin investing for long-term wealth. Wealth is rarely built through dramatic changes. It is usually built through small actions repeated over many years. Many people imagine wealth as luxury cars, giant homes, and early retirement. But one of the most meaningful forms of wealth is much simpler. It's being able to solve a problem without panic. It's replacing a broken phone without using a credit card. It's going to dinner without checking your account balance first. It's sleeping well because you know you have a cushion. That is financial freedom in its earliest form. And it often begins with something as small as $10. The greatest obstacle to saving is not low income. It is the belief that small actions do not matter. But every strong financial foundation starts with a single repeated decision. $10 may seem insignificant today, but the habit it creates can reshape how you think, how you behave, and how you manage money for the rest of your life. So start now. Open the account. Move the first $10. Begin building evidence that you are capable of changing your financial future. Because real wealth does not start when you earn more. It starts when you decide to keep a small piece of what you already earn. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more simple, practical videos that explain how money works and how to build lasting wealth. And let me know in the comments. What would you name your savings account? And are you starting your first $10 today?